to be. One day I saw an inspirational poster on a wall which said, "It's not about how good you are, it's about how good you want to be." I thought it was a wonderful saying aimed at motivating people to be the best they can be. As I reflected on the words on the poster, I began to feel there was something missing from the statement, a few words or a phrase that would give it even greater meaning and clarity. Then it came to me and I began to write. It's not about how good you are. It's not even about how good you want to be. It's about how good you are prepared to be to become how good you can be. How good are you prepared to be to achieve your weight and health goals? The essence of this adapted message was about commitment, discipline, and investment of time, all wrapped up in the knowledge that sacrifices must be made in pursuit of our endeavors. I have a saying, you cannot have it all in pursuit of it all. We live in what appears to be at times a get rich quick, have it all now culture, but that's if you believe the hype. Live your life not for today's immediate gratification, but for tomorrow's satisfaction. This way your efforts will be inspired by long-term thinking and include strategic planning instead of what I call sprinklings of thinking that include fast-track success strategies. You cannot become a good footballer without good training, or a good doctor without good study. Likewise, you cannot become good at striving to be the best you can be without good investment in yourself. You cannot achieve your weight and health goals without an investment of time and effort. As my youngest daughter used to eloquently put it, the gooder I become, Daddy, the better my schoolwork will be.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of L.E.A.N Bites Live. I'm really pleased you have joined me, even though it's at a little bit of an earlier time than normal. Normally it's about 7, but today it is 6 o'clock. And yeah, I hope that, I still have some people out there in the world that has joined me today. I would like to firstly say a big thank you to my 3 guests for the Make Your Health Podcast Live Women's Show, Let's Talk Menopause on Monday. It was an awesome show. I had some great feedback. Thank you very much, Dr. L.E.A.N Ahmed. Thank you very much, Marilyn Devilish. And thank you very much, Connie Cowens. You 3 were absolutely awesome. I had some great feedback there on the day and absolutely wonderful. It's nice to know that some people are saying hello already. Let me bring the chat up here. I should bring the chat up here. So let me see if anybody's here to say hello. Good evening, DJ, Mr. P, and good evening. I think there was someone who just said hello just then. So it's nice to know that at least there's a couple of people out there watching the show today. Today is a follow-on show from Wednesday. First of all, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ken Barnes. I'm known as the L.E.A.N MindBody Coach, and I focus on 2 things. I focus on helping people to lose weight, and I also focus on helping people to manage their blood sugar, which is in a sense avoiding getting diabetes. Today's show is all about a methodology that I used. Good evening, Sharon. It's a methodology that I used to lose weight. In fact, this is how I looked. Now you could see that was a massive change. I lost 50 pounds in 6 months using a methodology I call the L.E.A.N MindBody Method. And I actually wrote a book called the L.E.A.N MindBody Method, which dictates my journey and the journey that I went on to be able to lose weight, and the 4 areas I focus on, which is low carb nutrition, sleep, exercise, and mindset. And today's show is all about the L.E.A.N MindBody Method and the areas that kind of the L.E.A.N MindBody Method can help. So, again, I just want to say hello and good evening, baby, good evening. We have Sharon from Jamaica on. Welcome, Sharon. Good evening, baby. Yes, thank you very much for joining me today on this earlier time. This show has been really interesting. In fact, Monday's show was really interesting. I learned so much, and there were so many questions that was answered in my mind, and it's going to enable me to help so many more people. And today is just another piece of the puzzle I'm going to share with you. Now, for now, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Facebook, feel free to talk amongst yourself within the chat. I'm going to turn the chat off now, but I will still see the chats coming up because I've got them on a monitor just here. And if there are any questions throughout the show, I'll gladly answer those questions at some point. But today is going to focus on one specific aspect of the menopause, which is, as I said, I learned so much, and women who are going through it suffer so many physical and psychological issues. But one of the issues they suffer from is weight gain. And this is the area which I focus on. So I'm just going to give you a basic overview of some of the reasons why you may have be putting on weight after when you're going through the menopause, or you've actually finished the menopause, which is post-menopause. As we know, there are 3 cycles to the menopause: the perimenopause, which is to possibly 1 or 2 years before the menopause, and then the menopause itself, which can last, it can last 2 years, it can last up 10, 15 if some people, and then we have the post-menopause, and your body's changing all throughout. And many of you may be thinking, well, I'm doing the same things I was doing when I was younger. I'm not eating anymore. So why is it that I am all of a sudden now putting on weight? Well, today I hope to answer that question for you of why really, whether you do the same things or not, it's not going to affect the way your body is putting on weight, because it's all about your hormones. So we'll get straight into today's show, and I will just share with you now. When it comes to weight distribution amongst the women, you put it on your breasts, you put it on your thighs and your bottom and the back of your arms and the back of your neck. But a place you put it on a lot is your stomach. Now we're going to talk about that stomach distribution, because that is where you put on visceral fat. I mean, you really don't want to increase your stomach area there, and I'm going to tell you the process in how that happens. But this is generally where women put on a weight: their breasts, their stomach, their thighs, the back of their arms, the back of their neck, and their bottom. So that's the general weight distribution. Now, you go through your menopause because your ovaries are stop working. They kind of they've come to their end of time, so to speak. So your ovaries are where you produce a number of your hormones. 2 of those hormones are estrogen and progesterone. So specifically those 2 hormones, when you enter the perimenopause or the menopause, these are the 2 hormones that kind of either reduce or kind of get out of sync, which I'll talk a little bit more in a moment. Now, just for an explanation, your estrogen is the hormone that regulates your menstrual cycle. So that's the one that keeps you on your monthly cycle. All right? You can do a little bit more research into a deeper what estrogen does. And progesterone is the hormone that kind of protects your ovaries. That, when the egg is in the ovary wall, that's the hormone that keeps it safe and kind of protects the endothelium within your body, that helps the egg to stay in place. So these 2 hormones are incredibly important. But when you go for your menopause, they either reduce or kind of go a little bit out of sync. And this is the reason why you have many of the symptoms from the menopause that put on weight. Now I'm going to explain that now. So they work in sync. As you can see here, estrogen and progesterone. So for example, as I talked about the endothelium, it causes the endothelium to proliferate. And the progesterone maintains the secrecy. So that means the secretion of the endothelium. So you can see just by this list here, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but how the estrogen and progesterone work in tandem. They kind of do work in tandem. And I'm actually going to talk about high levels of estrogen, but I just wanted to put this in there. Actually, low levels of estrogen can also be a reason why you put on weight. It could be a reason why osteoporosis come in. But if you have low levels of estrogen, it definitely could be one of the reasons why you are putting on weight. And when you have your menopause, yes, the estrogen levels do drop. They can go high, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but they can also drop. But I'm not going to discuss low levels of estrogen today. All right. So as I said, your estrogen and progesterone levels work in tandem, very much like a seesaw. We're on a seesaw, you go up and high. So whoever's heavier, it goes down. Whoever's lighter goes up. So for example, your estrogen levels are like a seesaw. So and there are times when your progesterone level is strong and your estrogen level is weak. So what happens, as you can see there on the seesaw, the progesterone is in control. But there are also times when your estrogen is in control and your progesterone levels are low. This is the scenario I want to talk about, because when you have high levels of estrogen and when you have low levels of progesterone, it's called estrogen dominance. And this, ladies, could be one of the reasons why you are putting on weight. It's a fascinating subject, estrogen dominance. So let me just go a little bit further inside it. So these are the things that can happen when you have estrogen dominance, which in a sense is excessive estrogen. So the irony is low estrogen levels can make you put on weight, but also excessive estrogen levels can also make you put on body weight. So if you have estrogen dominance in your system, the excess estrogen can make you put on weight. Now, progesterone is a balancing hormone. So what happens is, if it's not there, if you have lower levels of progesterone, your estrogen levels are running wild. And what that does, that affects a hormone which is in your fat cells called leptin. Now, leptin is a hormone that suppresses your appetite. So in a sense, ghrelin is a hormone that says you're hungry. And then as you're eating, your fat cells release a hormone called leptin, which says you're full. When you have high estrogen levels, that affects the activity of the leptin hormone, which could make you eat more and susceptible to so many different things. As I said, progesterone is a natural anti-inflammatory, which protects, various hormones in your body. So the way you have to look at progesterone is not as a cause, but as a protector. So when progesterone levels are low, it allows so many other things to happen in your body. All right. Now, progesterone also is a very, very calming thing for your brain. It helps to relax you. So when you have low levels of progesterone, it can affect your sleep. Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why when you're going through a menopause, your sleep is affected. Now, if you've watched my podcast before, you would have realized, or you would have known, so many things happen when you don't sleep. There are so many ways your body is negatively impacted when you don't sleep. Stress is one of them. Now, stress is a factor in itself that doesn't only make you put on weight, but it can also exacerbate the symptoms of the menopause. So if you're not sleeping, and through you not sleeping, you're getting tired and stressed, not only will it exacerbate the symptoms of the menopause, but it will also make you put on weight through things like high insulin or hyperinsulinemia, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So again, if you have low levels of progesterone, it can also affect your sleep. Progesterone also helps with your water retention because it's a natural diuretic. So sometimes, during your menopause, or even women in their 40s or 50s, they start to feel a bit bloated. And that could be down to water retention. And again, it could be down to estrogen dominance, because of the high levels of estrogen in their body and the low levels of progesterone. So progesterone, again, is a natural diuretic. Now, Now, the thing is, when you have low levels of progesterone, it affects your insulin level. Now, again, this is something I've banged on so many times about insulin. I mean, you want to do whatever you can do to keep your insulin level stable. Now, I don't want to go deep into insulin right now, but high insulin levels are the root cause of so many illnesses. And high insulin levels really contribute to women gaining that visceral fat around their stomach, which is the most dangerous fat. It's the absolute most dangerous fat because it's suffocating your organs. So when you have low progesterone levels, you can also develop what's called insulin resistance because you have high insulin levels. So not only do you high glucose levels are what we call hyperglycemia, that's high blood sugar. That can happen through having low progesterone and high estrogen, but also you can develop insulin resistance. And again, these things lead to diabetes, they lead to cancer, they lead to heart disease. So this is why when a woman is going through her menopause, potentially, especially at a later age, they are susceptible to so many illnesses because their hormones are so out of sync. So this is another way where your low progesterone levels, if you're suffering from estrogen dominance, can make you put on weight. All right. Now, as you know, you're going through a menopause. Sometimes you just want something sweet. This is another reason, but that's hormonal. Hyperinsulinemia. Your glucose levels go really high, and then they drop, and then you just want something sweet to bring it back in. And that's why sometimes you may be craving sweets or something sweet or these sweet foods during your menopause, which turns you into a sugar addict, which doesn't do your body and your weight any good whatsoever. So what can be done? All right. So remember, today I'm just kind of showing you some snippets about the possible reasons why you're gaining weight during the menopause and post-menopause, and why also women 40s or 50s, because even if they're not going for the menopause at that time, the levels still are a little bit out of sync. So what could be done? Well, you need to develop a new lifestyle. Unfortunately, it may not be fair. You may be doing all the things that worked when you were younger, but now you have to do something different. Yes? That's the thing. You need to get rid of some of your old habits and bring in some new habits. It's just the way it is. And one of the ways you can do that is by reducing your sugar intake. Now, on the show on Monday, Connie, who's a nutritionist who's very, very plant-based, spoke about sugar and the impact of sugar on the menopause and how it can exacerbate the symptoms of the menopause, but it can definitely exacerbate your weight gain. And one of the ways in which you control the balancing act of estrogen and progesterone is by reducing sugar. That is one way, but not just table sugar. We're talking about sugar in all its forms. We're talking about sweets. We're talking about sugar that comes in drinks. We're talking about the sugar that comes out of refined carbohydrates. And we're going to do the sugar smash later, which you'll be able to see how bread and pasta, if you've never watched that before, how that actually turns to sugar in the sugar smash. So that's coming straight after this presentation here. So you need to give up sugar or reduce it in all its forms. Table sugar, but reduce the refined carbohydrates which turn into glucose and fructose in your body. If you do that, that will have a little bit more of a calming effect on your estrogen and your progesterone balance. And I've worked with people who, because they've reduced their sugar, because they've been on a low carb diet, whereby the symptoms of the menopause have been lessened, or they haven't really experienced any. And there is research in that as well. A low carb diet is an excellent way. Now, you don't have to go as strict as I do, but just reduce your carbohydrate intake. Try it. Especially if you're going through the menopause, you have nothing to lose. It will not only help your symptoms, but it will help you with your weight loss. And the thing is, the more fat you have, the more estrogen your body produces. So it's kind of a vicious cycle. So it really, really helps you if you lose weight. And a low carb diet can not only help you lose weight, but it can also help you with the symptoms of the menopause. So today we just spoke about estrogen dominance. So what did we speak about? Estrogen dominance is where we have high levels of estrogen and low levels of progesterone. They're the two hormones that are produced in your ovaries, and when you enter into menopause, those two hormones either reduce, they're not being produced as well, or they're out of sync. One is higher than the other. But today we're talking about estrogen dominance and how that a low progesterone level affects so many areas. One is leptin, which is your hunger hormone. Yes, leptin is produced in your fat tissue. The second, we spoke about sleep, how a low progesterone level is a calming. It has a calming effect on your brain. So when you have low progesterone levels, it can affect your sleep, right? We also spoke about water retention because progesterone is a natural diuretic. So when you have low progesterone levels, you can have water retention and bloating. And then we also talk about hypoglycemia, which is a high blood sugar level. Again, low progesterone levels and high insulin levels can create, high estrogen levels, I should say, can create a situation where your blood sugar is raising incredibly high. And the thing what happens when you do that, we're talking about insulin resistance, we're talking about diabetes. And this is why women going through that period can develop diabetes, because hyperglycemia, as I said, insulin resistance. And we also talk about weight gain. So the whole factors of having low progesterone levels can lead to weight gain, which is, I know you want to avoid. That is definitely something you want to avoid. And as I said, the way you can avoid that is by reducing your sugar intake. But I would encourage you to adopt a new lifestyle. As I said, throw out the old habits, take on some new habits, and adopt a new lifestyle. Your future self will thank you. Not only will it help with the menopause symptoms, not only will it help with your weight, but it will help you in so many ways that you'll be so surprised. So can a low carb diet help with leptin? Yes, absolutely can. I mean, I did do a podcast recently. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go back and look, and I spoke about leptin and ghrelin and how that goes out of balance with sugar. Can a low carb diet help with your sleep? 100%. I've done a couple of podcasts, L.E.A.N Bites Live. Just search on YouTube if you're there, and you will see how a low carb diet can help with your sleep. Can a low carb diet help with water retention? Absolutely, because as you lose weight on a low carb diet, you lose glycogen, and glycogen hugs water. So you will lose water as you're on a low carb diet. Can a low carb diet help with hyperglycemia? Absolutely, because when you're on a low carb diet, you're not eating foods that are spiking your blood sugar level. You're eating very, very low sugar foods that kind of keep your blood sugar levels stable, which in a sense then keeps your insulin levels kind of stable, because what you don't want to do is your insulin levels to rise, because insulin is really a fat storage hormone. So your blood sugar rises, and then insulin kicks in, and then it distributes the excess blood sugar into your fat cells. Again, I have a number of videos on my YouTube channel that go into this a little bit detail. And can a low carb diet help with weight gain? 100% it can help with weight gain. So today I just wanted to share with you how what I do can help you with some of your menopause symptoms, but conversely help you manage your weight, which is really the topic of today. And that's the great thing about being on a low carb diet. You know, when I first went on a low carb diet, it was all about weight, but now the weight is secondary. There's so many health benefits that can happen when you go on a low carb diet, and I really would encourage you guys to be able to go on a low carb diet. I know that some people made a few comments earlier on, so let me just make sure I can see what the comments are coming in now. All right, so I hope that was useful. Listen, don't take my word for it. Go ahead, do your own research. Estrogen dominance, low progesterone levels, that's just one of the factors that potentially contribute to you putting on weight. All right, so I hope you found that useful. And you know, as I said, it's just age. Unfortunately, ladies, you can't control it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just know that you do have some control over how it affects your body if you adopt a different lifestyle. And exercise obviously definitely helps as well, but your nutrition is a major factor. But exercise is definitely a factor in that. All right, so just coming up next, we are gonna do the sugar smash. This is a game whereby I'm going to present to you a number of foods, just 3 foods today, as I normally do, and you're just going to have a chance to guess how many teaspoons of sugar. So if you watch this on YouTube or on Facebook, please participate. You know, you'll have an opportunity to guess, you'll have 3 options, but I'll just move on. So again, my whole coaching is about saying no to sugar. All right, so you'll see 6 food items: a banana, bread, sugar, Coke, bread, and pasta. They are all forms of sugar. The fruit is a form of fructose, which goes to your liver. And again, I did another presentation recently about how fructose affects your liver and creates fatty liver. All right, and you then have, you know, the bread and the rice, and they turn into glucose in your body. So they are both forms of sugar that affects your body. All right, and those forms of sugar add to your body fat. As I said, you know, you eat them and then insulin kicks in and it creates adipose tissue, body fat, and invariably sometimes it increases the visceral fat. So you just want to reduce these kind of items. In fact, I haven't had a banana in absolutely years, or bread, even though I used to love banana, but because I eat now for health, not just taste. All right, so we're going to move on. These are the government guidelines. So the government says, look, 9 teaspoons for a man and 6 teaspoons for women. They're not talking about added sugar. They're talking about added sugar, but they're not really taking consideration the sugar content of the food. So these guidelines are not very, very helpful. All right, so let's start the sugar smash, shall we? Let's see how you get on today. And I know Mr. P's raring to get on today. We are going to do 3 Caribbean drinks today. All right, and you know, pineapple juice is a wonderful juice. It's something that when I went to the Caribbean recently, I had so much, but recently in the sense of that was a few years ago. All right, so this is pineapple juice. There are 28 grams of pineapple juice. These are the 3 options. We have A, B, or C. So I am interested if anybody can guess how many teaspoons of sugar is in this 28 grams of pineapple juice. Is it 7 teaspoons? Is it 8 teaspoons? Or is it 10 teaspoons in this glass of pineapple juice? Is that an answer? Okay, well, I thought Mr. P was coming to answer. He's not coming to answer now. Are we going to have some guesses, even one guess, so I can press the buzzer and applause whichever one? Sharon's coming with B. Well done, Sharon. Mr. P is coming with C. Okay, wonderful. So are we going to have one more guess? We're going to count now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's smash this drink and see who's right, whether it's Sharon or Mr. P. And okay, we have a full house there, A, B, or C. So one of you is going to be right today. Let's see which one it is. All right, so we'll smash that pineapple juice there. and it has 7 teaspoons. So, and we had baby come in with a late run there with a well done. Let me just give this to baby here. Well done. Got that right. And to Sharon and Mr. P, my commiserations. You know, yeah. Listen, it was the way it was. Well done, baby. You got that first one right. Let's see, baby, if you can get 3 out of 3, or Mr. P and Sharon can, make up for the loss in the first one. So this is the next. This is Irish Mosh. This is Irish Mosh here. This is a wonderful drink. I used to drink so much of it. Even my mum used to make it when she was alive. These are the 3 options. This is 26 grams of Irish Mosh. I know it's drank so often in Jamaica. All right. So is it 5.5 teaspoons, 6.5 teaspoons, or 7.5 teaspoons in about 26 grams of Irish Mosh? If you come from Jamaica, well, I'm sure it's drank in a number of other countries, but I know it's drank a lot in Jamaica. How many teaspoons do you think is in this 26 grams of Irish Mosh, which is a very traditional drink that a lot of people drink it to say it's a health drink? All right. So I know that baby came in well in the first one. Let's see if we're going to get some answers that's going to come in now. Is it A, 5.5, B, 6.5, or C, 7.5 teaspoons? So where we go? Sharon, who is from Jamaica, it says B. Oh, Mr. P says B. Okay, Sharon, I know this might be a drink that you used to drink often. And babe, we've got a full house with B. Let's just see how we're getting on now. Let's smash this, and then, okay, Sharon says it depends who makes it. I know, because it can be different depending who makes it, all right? So let's see, we have a full house with B. Let's smash this, and, okay, let's smash this and see how much sugar is in this Irish Mosh here. Let's see. That was so wonderful. Let me give you all a round of applause. You guys guessed that so well. 6.5 teaspoons in the Irish Mosh. Now look, when you look at the amount of sugar you're supposed to have, a woman's supposed to have 6 and a man's supposed to have 9. It is very, very high in sugar. Just so you know. I know, L.E.A.N, I think we just came in with B. Well done. It's quite high in sugar. So, either pineapple juice and the Irish Mosh is not something that you would really drink on a low-carb diet, because they are very, very high in sugar. Could you imagine drinking a glass of that, and that's the amount of sugar that you will have? So this is the final drink here, 3 Caribbean drinks, and one all of you will know, and it's sorrel. Absolutely a delicious drink when I used to drink it. So we have A, 6 teaspoons, B, 7 teaspoons, or C, 9 teaspoons. Which one it is? So I think baby's on 2 out of 3 here. Baby, let's see if you can go 3 for 3 this week. All right? But this was a drink I used to love. In fact, I've actually made a low-carb version of this drink here, because it's such a delicious drink. And I love the flavor. And I love the color, the redness of the sorrel. So it's a really great drink, especially with loads of ice inside there. But it has a certain amount of sugar in it. So is it A, 6 teaspoons, B, 7, or C, 9? So here we have, let me see, do I have any guesses coming in right now? This is a wonderful drink. Come on, I know you can get this one. Baby, what do you reckon? Are you going to come in at this one? So Sharon's coming at B, okay? Sharon's coming at B, 7 teaspoons. Let's see if baby, because I'm going to give her a little chance, is coming. Mr. P is just making some, I don't know what he's saying on there, but he's not coming with an answer. But Sharon's coming at B. I'm going to give her about 5 seconds, and we're going to smash this. I'm going to see exactly how much sorrel, how much sugar is in this sorrel. So Mr. P says A. I was trying to be nice to baby, because baby's really done well. She's got 2 out of 2, and I hope she can come with a guess here. Baby, do you reckon it's A, 6, and then baby's on for A? Okay, so we have A and B. Let's just smash this and see how much sugar is in this sorrel here. All right, beautiful drink. It's actually in there 9 teaspoons. Unfortunately, that goes for all of you. This is how much sugar. I mean, there is so much sugar in sorrel. It's unbelievable. That's why it tastes so sweet. And to make a low carb version was quite difficult, but I did manage it. 9 teaspoons of sugar in sorrel. It is such a sweet drink. And if you're on a low carb diet, unfortunately, unless it's made a low carb way, it is not a drink that you would drink. Yeah, wow, I know. And this is what this section is about, Sharon. All I'm doing is I'm the messenger. I just want to enlighten you. If you want to make the choice to be able to eat the foods, then you make that choice or drink the drinks. I am just the messenger to share with you the kind of sugar that is in the foods and the drinks you eat. Because most people are not aware. They eat because of taste, and they're not really aware of the amount of sugar that's in their food. And that's why their weight creeps up and their health declines. All right. So before I move on to Mr. P said he said C. Before I move on to the last section of the show, let me just share with you some things that are happening. Really pleased to say that this week I got notification I passed my diabetes reversal. It was a tough course. It's aimed at doctors and medical professionals. It's all about reversing diabetes without using pharmaceutical drugs. I completed and I passed that, and with all my other education, it puts me in a real great stead to be able to help people reverse diabetes, protect them from getting it, and reverse pre-diabetes in 2021. So there's going to be a program called Diabetes Defeated happening in 2021. But I just want to share that good news with you, because I know you guys have been on a journey, and you'll be on a journey with me throughout 2021. I want to tell you about Tribe. Tribe is a phenomenal platform. This is me aged 56. This is me aged 56. Through the methods that you can gain in Tribe, and it helps women as well. I've had women lose weight using Tribe, and it's about weight loss made simple. And you know, if you're age 40, because remember we're talking about 40 to 50 plus is when you put on weight or the menopause starts. You need to lose weight. You need to gain more energy, because I've got more energy. Or you need to just generally improve your health. Tribe is a great place to start. It's really, really a great place to start. And it's a great community. Tribe can help. All right. So if you want to find out more, just go to this website here, which is the leanlifestyletribe.com, and you can take a 7-day free trial. 7 days just to see if the platform is a good fit for you. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. So go to Lean Lifestyle Tribe, and just a few things that are on the platform. You know, I have like a member dashboard here. I have some delicious recipes. It has a big focus on Caribbean recipes. Really big focus, because yeah, it just has a big focus on Caribbean recipes, because there were people in my life who, if I'd known what I'd known now, I could have helped. And it's their legacy that has made me really focus on Caribbean recipes. All right. It's food guides. So do you know how I'm done the sugar smash here? There are food guides that will tell you about common foods, especially Caribbean foods, and how much sugar is inside it. I haven't seen anything like that on the internet. I've spent an incredible amount of time producing those food guides and those cheat sheets. You can find them there. There are video education courses. So in a sense, you can go on there and about teaching you about, not just about low carb, about sleep, nutrition, and exercise. So lots of education courses. And it's like, once you join, even for the 7 days, it takes you through the first half of what's called a Leaner You program. So you're not just going to join and then have nothing to do. This will take you on a 7-day program, and if you continue with the program, you can then complete the rest of the Leaner You program. And it's a fantastic community, because that's the heart of Tribe, supporting you on your way. And it's a place where you can ask questions and get support, and you know, meet other like-minded people. So go and take a look at Tribe. It's a fantastic place. I'm really proud of it. I'm really looking to build it in 2021. All right, so go to leanlifestyletribe.com, and also you can go and to there, and you could pick up this free 5-day meal plan. Absolutely free. All you got to do is register on our mailing list, and within a few minutes you'll get this free 5-day meal plan. If you just wanted to try low carb and some reduced sugar meals, it includes a number of recipes like this garlic trout. It also includes a jerk chicken recipe with my own jerk sauce here. This is low carb jerk sauce, absolutely delicious. I had some last week. And then we also have this curry salmon. It's my own creation. It didn't break. It's absolutely delicious. My daughter even made this and she absolutely loved it. And in this free guide, there's a shopping list and things that tells you what to do with leftovers. So go to leanlifestyletribe.com and take a look around and at least just register on the mailing list and get this guide absolutely free. And the great thing is you'll be kept up to date about everything that we're doing here at Tribe, all right? And so I want to tell you about next week. Next week, Wednesday, I'll be back here, and it's going to be the one thing that many people don't do that causes them to fail when it comes to losing weight. And here's a clue. It's not nutrition, nothing to do with nutrition, and it's nothing to do with exercise. But it's the one thing many people don't do, and I'm going to tell you what that one thing is and how you can do it this time next week. Well, it will be at 7 o'clock next week, not 6 o'clock on L.E.A.N Bites Live. On Monday, I have a great guy with me, the man with the orange tie, the speaker with the orange tie, Mr. Steve Beckles Abusier. He'll be with me, and we are going to be talking about all things mindset. We're going to be talking about some of a great way to be able to set some goals, some health and fitness, mindset, and even just work-related goals for 2021. So don't miss the Make Health Your Habit podcast on Monday, and I will have Steve Beckles Abusier in the house. All right. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, just subscribe to us. Just press the bell and like it. That means you'll be notified. So just press subscribe and like this show. Hopefully you like this show. Just press like. Likes always help us. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching us on the L.E.A.N MindBody Coach page, then like this video. All that helps. Great. Wonderful to see you. So let's just talk about the last part of the show. And the last part of the show is always what I call L.E.A.N reflection. And this is where I just share with you just some thoughts to end with the show. So for those of you who don't know, I'm actually the founder of the 100 Black Men of London. I started that organization back in 2001, and I'm very, very proud of the fact that I'm the founder of that organization. We had a program, a great mentoring program, where we focused on a number of areas. And one of those areas was self-image and self-esteem. It was powerful. It was really powerful to be able to talk with those young people about how they saw themselves when they looked in the mirror. And I've always thought that the issue of self-esteem was an incredibly powerful thing. In fact, I actually included a passage in this book here. This is another book that I wrote called The I Factor. In here, I wrote about self-esteem. And I also included it in another book, which is The I Factor for Women. So I wrote The I Factor, and I've written The I Factor for Women. And in fact, I think I'm going to re-release these two books again. They're amongst, I've written a couple of other books, but those two books I continue to write about self-esteem. So here's the question. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? What do you see when you look in the mirror? And more importantly, how do you feel about what you see? So when you look in the mirror, what do you see? And how do you feel about what you see? This forms the essence of your physiological and your psychological well-being. Because if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, how are you going to manage your life? How are you going to manage your health? There are many people, and I'm just going to be real here, who look in the mirror and don't like what they see. I was one of those people. But for me, it wasn't an end point. It was I didn't like what I saw, and I'm going to change it. For some people, they look in the mirror and they don't like what they see, and they see it as an end point. And that can be real depressing for them. Well, why should I bother to get fit? Why should I bother to try and lose weight? I'm never going to lose weight because I'm big, I'm fat. This is the way I am. I can't do anything about it. Or they may even not like the way they physically look. They may, and I'm just going to be real, they may feel they're ugly, big and fat, and they think, well, no, why should I bother in improving my health? And these factors influence the way people engage in a healthy physical and mental lifestyle. And again, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? When you look in the mirror, do you compare yourself to your friends? Because if you're in a circle of friends who are potentially overweight, because if you have a BMI over 30 or 35, and your BMI is 30 and your friend's BMI is 35, you're going to look at your friends and think, well, okay, they are overweight and I'm not that bad. And that might be a justification for you not doing too much with your weight, because you are looking in the mirror and comparing yourself with the people around you who are potentially overweight. Or you may be comparing yourself with the people around you who are fit or not fit, should I say. When you look in the mirror, what do you see and how do you feel about what you see? And whatever you see, if that image is not the right image, you need to reframe that image. You need to envisage yourself fit, envisage yourself healthy, envisage yourself losing weight. No, you don't have to get a six-pack or be really slim and thin, but you can lose weight. But you have to believe that you're worthy of it. Because when you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, you don't feel worthy. You don't feel worthy of so much, but you definitely don't feel worthy of good health. But you are worthy. Look in the mirror. I am worthy. And in 2020, I am going to say that every day. I'm worthy. And in 2020, I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to totally like what I see. Not based on my friends, but based on the things I know that I should see in the mirror that dictate that I am well and I'm healthy. So that's the message today. It's about when you look in the mirror, what you see. And we're going to be discussing this a little bit more on the Make Health Your Habit podcast on Monday, because self-esteem is a real major issue in there. And many people who are just not looking after themselves because they don't like the way they look. And conversely, they don't like the way they look and they don't like the way they feel. So that's the message for today. I hope you found something from that message. Your feedback is always great. Had some great feedback from Monday. Your feedback's always great. I will be back here on next week, Wednesday. I'll be back here on Monday. So remember, estrogen dominance, do your own research. You can make a change, not only to your weight, but your menopause symptoms through a low-carb diet. And I'll be here every single week to help you do that. So listen, you know what I always say to you? There is no better habit that you could develop than to make health your habit. Guys, I will see you next week. You have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the L.E.A.N Bites live podcast show. Remember, the views and opinions expressed during the show represent those of the host of the show alone. We hope you enjoyed the show.